Ezekiel went into captivity along with many other Jews. There, he became a prophet of God. One day, the Lord took his spirit to a valley filled with bones. These bones were so dry that they would turn to powder if you just touched them. God said, "Son of man, will these bones come alive again?" Oh, Lord, only you know the answer to that. God said, "Stand among them and say, 'Dry bones, hear what God is saying to you.'" That's right. The Lord is speaking to you. He is saying, "I'll bring breath back to you, and you'll once again be alive. You will have muscle and tendons and flesh and life. And then you'll know that I am the Lord." So Ezekiel stood among them. He said exactly what God told him to say. Suddenly he heard a rattling all across the valley. He realized the bones had become hard again and were reconnecting. All across the ground there were complete skeletons. And as the prophet watched, suddenly muscle and tendons and organs formed on these bones. And then skin stretched across the flesh. And it was like the whole valley was full of dead bodies. And yet with all of this, there was no life. And the Lord said, "Son of man, preach to breath. Say, hear what God is saying to you." That's right. The Lord is speaking to you. He is saying, get on the four winds and come into this valley and fill these bodies with breath so they can be alive. And the prophet said these words to breath. And suddenly wind came into the valley. And breath entered into these bodies. And they were alive. They sat up. And then they stood up. And that's when Ezekiel realized that he was looking at a vast army. God said, "These bones represent the 12 tribes of Israel." Right now, they're saying, "We're no longer a nation. We have no hope. Our bones are dry." Oh, but the day is coming when I will open up your graves of exile and bring you back to Israel. And I will put my spirit in you, and you'll be alive. And then you'll know that I am the Lord. Sometime later, God said to Ezekiel, "Go get a small piece of wood and write the word Judah on it. Go get another piece of wood and write the word Israel on it." So Ezekiel went and did as he was said. Then God said, "Put both pieces of wood together and carry them around until people ask you, 'What does this mean?' Then you're to say, 'Hear what God says to you.' The day is coming when I will bring both nations back to the land, and they'll be one nation. I will give them the land that I gave Jacob. They'll have one king. David will rule over them. They'll no longer corrupt themselves with idols, but I will cleanse them, and they'll be my people, and I will be their God.